What's up, guys? It's Black and back with some part 5 of Combined Arms in review. I think this is a good time to talk about the phases of this tournament and how I feel about them, because there was like the group stage where everybody was kind of new, nobody really knew what they were doing, so it was kind of like a very frantic and frenzied thing. Then there was the first part of the knockout stage where I was like barely managed to get by my games. I barely beat Hans and I barely beat Kato. Like, it easily could have gone either way, both those series. And then most of those games were happening like on a weekly basis, and then I got to Upps and there was like a 3-week gap between when I played him and Kato. So I think part of it was just like playing the games afterwards, but it seemed like the whole meta kind of shifted. A lot of people caught on to the double racks, triple ref meta that I was doing and how to counter it. Like, all you really needed was early artillery, either through tier 2 artillery if you could get there, or if your unit had like a tier 1 artillery like allies or nod, those artillery pieces would be more than enough if you had a bunch of them. So that allowed me to kind of stop and like change my playstyle up a little bit. So like after going forward, like you won't really see that type of build anymore. Instead, if you see Skrin, you're gonna see the build that I use here, which became like my new meta, and it's super tough to deal with. It's the same build that Kato or Hans used against me, rather. I think I just kind of cleaned it up a little bit, or made it my own a little bit, and made it more effective. So it's gonna be super good, and I'm sure you'll see when it comes to this. But for now, yeah, just starting out with that engineer on this map, Marigold Town. So we all know how this map plays. It's basically just expand to that north side right there, and then sit in the middle, because that's all you really can do. There's not a whole lot of harassing you can do on this map since your base is just so well protected. But so I got my own Elderic, kind of make sure scouting to see if I can get anything of his, see if I can catch any rockets or anything like that. But so far, no dice. At the same time, I'm just gonna rally a few of my warriors up to his Elderic, see if I can snipe it off. Do manage to find a few of his rifles, and I think I trade evenly. 3-piece there. Some Grenadiers come in, because I had scouted that Upps does like to use this Grenadier, but I was more than prepared for that. So scouting, definitely, like pre-scouting I should say, coming in handy from here. He's got some rifles there, but you know, I should be alright. I got more than enough. I just want to make sure I don't run those warriors too far away from my power plant. I know one of those Grenadiers got away, but it should be alright. And eventually, those warriors are going to poke down that Elderic. He gets another $100 take out of it, but I think that's going to be about it. And there it goes. Once it goes down, 3, 2, wow, counting is terrible. But it goes down, so just retreat those warriors back. They've done their job. They're easy to go die out there, so. Got my warp sphere up. I'm going to go into one harvester and then a bunch of gunwalkers, because gunwalkers are, if they're not OP, they're just so good. They are fantastic anti-air, so you can't really go air against Skrin. And then they just shred infantry, so they're just a good complement to your rifles, and they tank pretty well too. I mean, they're $600 units, so it kind of makes sense, but you can definitely beat them with like just tanks and stuff, but it's very hard. You have to actually have good control and everything. So Harvester comes out. My 3 ref's gonna come out about the same time that Harvester does. Pretty standard stuff here. I'm just gonna focus on those gems first to get those out of the way for one, but you know, it's also gonna be a nice little extra income. Plus that'll help that Harvester not try to wander away. Then you can see that I'm going straight to tier 2, since tier 2 infantry is where the Skrin stuff shines. Heard the Grenadier die, but I wasn't sure where, and then I realized it was probably on the tip around my base, but unfortunate for him. Luckily, he didn't spawn a Viceroy. That would have been pretty bad, but yeah, I'm up to 4 Harvesters now, so I should be getting a good amount of income, not stalling too often at all. Just got some more rifles, scouts on the backside, just make sure he's not doing anything cheeky there, but we've got 15 seconds left on that nerve center. We've got a few gunwalkers out now, so start pushing out a little bit. Don't want to push too far or too hard. Just, you know, just kind of poke. Maybe kill that Elderic in the middle, kill a hospital if he's captured that, anything like that. But once my nerve center goes down, I go ahead and move out. I'm going to save that second barracks for now. And then priority queue the Ravager and Intruders, because those are my main weapons of this army. They are super difficult to deal with. Ravagers just do such great infantry damage. Their splash is pretty big. And then Intruders are really good just for anti-tank, anti-armor, like anti-defense, anti-building, but they also have like a decent small AoE, so it'll help slow down infantry as well. See that Upps did take that old Derek, but that's fine. I'll just kill it. I'm not sure if he's gonna get a full refund or not, but the Ravagers are coming out, and you can see that I do like basically a 1-to-1 ratio. That's just how good they are. You don't really do anything fancy. It's kind of like old school bike buggy in CNC3, where you just build 2 bikes in 1 buggy, and that was like a perfect ratio. Try not to build my army there, but I'm pretty sure you can see it, but that's okay. Kill another rifle scout over the top, but I should be alright if he's going to try to push there. Got my plasma turrets, which are again super nice, super effective. Saw in a little bit there, but it should be fine now that other harvester's transferred over there. Think about where I want to put that plasma turret, put it in the top. And yeah, now that I've started to get some intruders and some ravagers out there, it's time to actually, you know, start pushing. The second barracks will be coming out pretty shortly as well, so just gotta make sure I get a nice big queue of those up there. Since that he hasn't taken the hospital, I'm like, you know what, I am screwing. Keeping my intruders alive that much longer, keeping those ravagers alive. It's really nice, so in a second here I'm gonna go back and get that engineer out, capture the hospital. It's just waiting for that second barracks to come down, but it comes down. Catch a few rifles on that left side moving, and I see a few more, but my gunwalkers will run them down. So I don't think I've lost too much at all. And he's just slowly losing some stuff. So there's an advanced guard tower over there, but I mean, that's to be expected. Same thing I do, basically. Engineer's out, so it's going to go to the hospital. Already quickly expanding with that colony platform. I always forget what it's called. If it's a drone platform, colony ship. One of the two. But my MCV, more or less. So yeah, this is just basically how you play this map every time. Just very quickly expand to the middle and then just keep your army there. But he's not there yet, so I'm just kind of waiting, trying to set up an ambush. My gunwalkers are a little far ahead of there, which I should be careful about. You know, you don't want to leave all your rifles and stuff in there, but he's got 1 rifle there, and then there is I see his army. And I have a pretty good concave here. My gunwalkers are a little out of position. That's okay. I'm just going to rotate him up to the top. And you can see that, like, I'm just out-tanking him. Those intruders are shredding his battle tanks. And with that, like, his army is going to fold. Look at that, pretty much everything's gone, and I still have a decent chunk of army left over. Even coming in with more reinforcements now, so Upps is in a lot of trouble. Managed to see engineer. I don't know what that engineer is doing, but it's dead now. And yeah, I just realized that this queue was a little bit too short. I need to fill it up some more, but I've got another expansion up. I'm thinking about maybe just base pushing across and securing that pageant expansion from him. If I can do that, then like that would be a good game. Going lowest action, I'm not a big rebel person. I know Legato likes rebels with impalers. I think impalos would work well against this matchup, just because this matchup is like completely light armored or none armored, so anything anti-infantry would be really good, which impalers are, but I'm not sure if impalers actually stack up against just a bunch of ravagers. Got my tech center, 10 seconds left, so I can start pumping out those tripods, or since I went loyalist, I can get those obliterators, which are a decent artillery. They're like kind of like a slow oh god, what are they called? I can't think of the sheer sun, the tip sun unit. Not desolator, disruptor. Yeah, disruptor. God, I don't know, I can think of it. They're kind of like that, where they shoot like a slow beam that just finishes everything in front of it, so they got really long range, so they're really good at dealing with like an entrenched enemy. Upps is doing the right thing here. He's got Vulcans out and he's got a commander out, but unfortunately for him, I just have a much bigger army and he's forced to retreat again. Plus, my gunwalkers get on top of that commando super quickly. And you can just see the devastation that these intruders do. That advanced guard tower never stood a chance. He's got some MROS, which are fine, but I think they're actually kind of mistaken in this scenario. I'm already on top of NCV, so it's going to go down. And yeah, Upps he's in a lot of trouble. He's probably mined out on top. I'm up tier 3 to match his tier 3. My support power is ready too, which is going to be even more salt for the injury. You can also see that I switched to those obliterators for just a little bit, just to get a few of them out. That'll help poke away at that guard tower that I don't really want to engage into. And again, he's trying to push here, but he really doesn't have a whole lot of army to push with. And I'm just slowly killing everything he has. My mastermind's in there, instantly capping, to be super annoying. And I'm deep inside his base now. There's not much you can do about it. He doesn't even have an MCV, so... Trying to cap those Vulcans with my Mastermind, but they're just instantly dying, so I'll just cap a building instead, but... He goes ahead and calls it GG, so... Yeah, Upps was definitely in a world of hurt there. Not much you can do against that build when it just goes that south for you. Maybe if he had focused more on my Gunwalkers in that engagement and not allowed me to rotate him around, there could have been something there, but it's just unfortunate for him there, so we'll jump to the next one. Alright, so we're back here for game 2. Upps picked Titan VIP, so I'm more okay with that. I also rolled screen again, so I'm more than okay with that. It was a pretty swimmingly game for me first time, so I'll probably do something similar this time. Although I know I said that the triple ref, double racks build was kind of out meta recently, they figured it out. I think this is one of the few maps that is actually super good still to do. And I think that's part of it just because your main expo is just super close to your starting base, so you can kind of just control with an early move, MCV move out. So I'm definitely going to do the double racks, triple ref meta again, or build this time. Get that engineer out, get it into that order because I want that income. Probably go back and capture that hospital as soon as I know it's safe. And probably get that Tanya up there because I always got to get the Tanya on this map. It's that free $135 bonus, plus the free veterancy, which is always nice. And then just try to send a scout in and see what faction he is, what he could be doing. You can see I'm not even worried about queuing up anything besides that Rex because I know I'm going to move out instantly. But got my old Derek nice and secure, which is nice. Sent 3 wards just to make sure he's not trying to kill that old Derek. Send the 1 straight through, see if he moves out with his MCV, which definitely on this map you really want to get out of your base quickly, just the expansion. Got a lot of starting to go, but again, that expansion also has a lot of starting to go. It's so close that you can kind of do what you do on Champion, which is just control like 6 mines with just 1 MCV spot. Got my other ref out, so that's nice. 3rd ref's coming up, so I'll have to sell that 1 ref, that'll be okay. And then that engineer will eventually get out of that hospital, which will be good. And Upps gets the scout in here, which is nice. Fortunately for him, I have all my army back in base, so all he's going to see is that I'm doing double ref right now. He really needs to be about 15 seconds later to see if I'm doing triple ref or something like that. Not. So yeah, it's kind of hard to scout doing that, but at least he knows that I'm not War Factory first, which is pretty good. But got nothing else to do but play with my harvesters, because I'm just going to sit and look at this part of my screen. 3rd ref is out now, so I can sell that ref off and start my queue, pretty much full run it. See that he is indeed allies, so that's actually somewhat unfortunate for me. Allies actually counters the screen like composition that I used last game pretty well. All they really need to do is build prism tanks, maybe a few medium tanks just to soak some armor, and then just a bunch of normal rifles and rockets. Throw some medics in there just for some flair, and you've got a pretty good recipe to defeat screen. Prism tanks are a pretty good unit, and they're pretty good light armor and like in anti-infantry units, so 2nd Rax is going to come out. Perfect. Trying to get some disintegrators pumped up and then move that MCV. Probably only need to do 1 set there each, just so they're kind of building, and then move that MC. Probably a little quicker, things to consider, but it's more of a future me problem since this is in the past now. So just going to poke some rifles out because I don't want to get surprised by anything. I know that allies do have some rush units, not with grenadiers, but like with scout tanks can be pretty good effective harassing. Light tanks are good harvester killers in this game. Get that power plant out, get that War Factory going, and then a ref, then I should be full steam ahead after that. Yep, just kind of keep scouting, and there they are. There's those scout tanks. So luckily, again, I have all my infantry like right in my base, so he kind of tries to go for power there, which I disagree with. I think if he sticks on the harvesters, he has a lot better, lot more effective harassment there. Since he went for my power instantly, I was able to just pull this harvesters right back to work, so it didn't do a whole lot of economic damage to me. Same time, I just kept a bunch of rifles back there, so there he goes in with the scout tanks again, and you can see they're pretty close. I think if he sticks on him, he might actually get that harvester. It's going to be pretty close. I'm dancing around the ref. Feels like I'm playing CNC 3. 1 scout tank goes down. I get lucky there that he doesn't try to dive for that harvester because I definitely think he could have got it, but There it goes. I have a big infantry army. I've seen where his MC's at, which is nice. Cancel that plasma turret. I don't really need it. It's overkill at this rate. Those 3 disintegrators and those warriors could be more than enough, so. There it goes. I catch that one. I think there's one more back there, so I'm just going to leave him there for now. I want to keep that army right next to his... right next to the low health harvester, just in case he tries to kill it. And again, doing that through a field, gotta pause one of these queues, but those interlopers are going to be coming out pretty shortly. Supply all that armor I'll need, and should be able to help me out. I think part of the reason I went back to this build too is because I did the other build last game, so you can kind of expect that. And like, yeah, prisms will still work okay against this, but if he has just prisms, these interlopers will be a huge difference. I'll have to really micro those. So his army's just going into position, and since I know his MC's already moved out, I know that attacking his main is a better proposition. I see some more scout tanks, and I feel like I got a good concave here, so I'm just gonna go in, shave off some infantry if I can, get the tank, which is nice. I see I get at least 2 rifles, it's a handful of infantry, so he's in a little bit of trouble there. I see that one more light tank down there. It's alright, I got stuff to deal with it. He's not really microing, I think he's busy working on defending his main base right now. But now it's time to switch into that classic Skirn army. Trying to get these damn interlopers around, and imagine being super annoyed that that one decided it wanted to go all the way back around on the bottom, but it's alright, it kind of worked out in the end since I was going to attack parallel anyways, but Upps does a good job here just retraining that harvester. Nobody's going to lose it, but he is going to lose his breath. I don't think there's much he can do about it. And now I'm going to go in. I see he's got artillery, so I'm going to on that. And I see that there's prism down too, so he's got the right composition to beat this army. I just have too much mass for him right now. Not microing that prism is a little unfortunate too, but now that I've hit him in the top, it's time to hit him in the bottom. Now that I've got tier 2, it's time to get those interlopers out. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that I accidentally left my warriors queue running there on that one barracks, but it's alright. So you can see the damage that those frozen towers do. That army is just getting absolutely deleted up there. And I'm trying to push in here, but there's 2 pillboxes, so I'm not really going to get much value there, so I just retreat. Yeah, I've definitely done some damage to him. He's down a few power plants at the minimum, a ref, and a lot of army value. I'm in a pretty decent economic shape. You can see I'm floating about 4k, so doing pretty good. Get that power plant down, get that tech center down, and I can start working on some high-end screen stuff. Got another medic coming down there, or rejuvenator as they're called. So that's just been helping keep that army a little bit more healthy throughout this. Rotating my army to the bottom, because again, if I can catch some MC like I just did here, then I'll be in a great position. Trying to run down that prism tank, but it's just a little too tanky, too far for me, so gotta pull back army. Don't want to get caught with a kite. That's like the worst thing, is when you're just repeatedly getting kited by the enemy and you're just slowly losing units to them. At some point you just gotta call it a loss and run away. Scouting out with my gunwalker up there because I'm about to move my MCV. Looking at what I could build for tier 3, but like I said, tripod's not super great. I mean, you do want them a little bit just as the armor, but they're kind of situational. Should be building a hardened carriers, and there I go. That'll definitely help cut down on the prism damage. And I haven't picked Loyalists yet. I think that's actually what I was looking for, was to go to build some obliterators, but I didn't pick it yet. So I was like, where do they go? How do I get them again? Kind of forgot. Realized that I'm tier 3, so it's time to build that OVP Mastermind. Super annoying, super good. And just, yeah, just keeping him pinned down there. I know he's not going to go all the way up here, and if he does, then I got army up there to support it too, so Upps is definitely in a pickle. It's kind of hard for him to do much at all. But yeah, I'm start broke, so I need to start thinking about transferring some stuff. Maybe pause one of my queues. That's when I realized, oh yeah, I am building a bunch of warriors, so pause that and then pause the intro to this building afterwards. Transfer one harvester off that. And see that he's kind of established in that corner, but like that's okay, I can still control him from there. And it's gonna be real tough for him to deal with the secondary on the top. I think that was supposed to be a mine drop on my ore field, but it just came from a bad angle. Or maybe he put it at a bad angle, but... Mastermind's out. Gonna deal with these prism cannons with some storm riders. Yeah, he's got a lot here, but that's okay. He's wanting to engage in me, and I'm more than happy to engage into him. Accidentally pull all my gun walkers away, but that's okay. So somehow I'm taking a pretty good engagement there. I just think that he's that choked on army value. Just doesn't have the eco to support a big army like I do, so. Tend to pump out some Annihilator tripods just to get some more armor there. That'll help cut down and get the prisms a little bit. And then just get this attack going up top. Really not a whole lot of damage dealing there. There's the Mastermind obviously, but there's what, 4, maybe 5 intruders, so. Luckily he just doesn't have a whole lot of armor there. He's trying, and of course Mastermind just gonna steal a Harvester because why not? And just use its little ability to deploy Mind Spark, which is super annoying, just one-shot infantry. And then, yep, still a heavy tank. Probably could have stolen that Prism Cannon if I was paying attention, but he barely gets the Mastermind, that's fine. Gets his tank back, but, you know, I think that army is more than paid for itself. And it's still going. Power plants go down, so probably low power there. His War Factory's in a lot of trouble. This other army back down on the bottom, so Storm Riders are going to deal with any prisms I run into it, which would be great. Yeah, focus on those Harvesters if I can, then kill the ref. One Harvester down. Second Harvester going to go down for sure. Not much you can do about it, but Upps is in dire straits here. Does get a nice crush up there with the Harvester, but unfortunately he's attacking right here and he's going around a terrain obstacle, and it's just unfortunate that he's coming at a really bad angle. His army gets split and it gets cleaned up pretty easily. And that artillery just not cutting it anymore, not with the Seer 2, not with the Hardened Carapace. And then once again, he's trying to attack, but tanks are not in front, and those gunwalkers are just going to have an absolute field day up there. Buzzer Storm and Resource Scan are both ready, so those will be pretty nice when I decide to use them. So that, yep, he's just down at the bottom. I can easily poke at those Harvesters since it's way out of the turret range. There's pretty much nothing there, so use the Buzzer Scan on him just to add insult to injury there. Just blind his infantry, kill a few things. Use my Ichor Seed, pretty good. And see a rocket there, so I'll go, yep. And then kill the Prism Cannon as soon as it wants to shoot at it. That's gonna hurt him that much more. Mastermind is very poorly microed and dies in the front. I'm actually losing a bunch of infantry just going into a meat grinder there. It's alright, I'm pretty far ahead at this rate. I don't think Upps has a way to come back in this game. He's just finding it up because you never know. I could have just thrown an entire army there and that could be something to come back with, but instead I'm just going to camp on his field and his Harvesters are going to force a retreat. And I'm even stealing his, or I guess this is probably my side, but stealing the single tree in the middle. That's going to really cut him off even more. Build another Warp Sphere because I'm floating 7k and that's way too much, but bad rally there. Almost lost some of my army, but got some Storm Riders coming back in. Should be able to deal with those prisms. And there's 2 of them, nice in front. Perfect, thank you. Trying to keep those Storm Riders alive. They're very, very difficult to deal with. 2 of them are almost down, but just try to put him on guard stance so he can shoot anything coming by. And then just see that he pulls those prism tanks too far to the back. And get one of them. And he rotates away. But that's alright, because I hear Tanya come out. So I'm like, alright, well, I know where your barracks is. So Tanya's popping the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and snipe her. And then you're going to be wasting 1350 for absolutely nothing. And there she is. Thank you, Skull Icon. I don't even think I accidentally clicked her. I think it was the splash that killed her, but is what it is. Upps is going to push out one more, but I have a huge surround there. Storm Riders are going to clean up the reinforcements in the dot too. And that's pretty much all of his armor down, but I don't want to attack into that bottom since it's just a bunch of defenses. It doesn't really have anything there but like defenses and refs, so all of his production's in the top. And I didn't even see an MCV there, so he either sold it or he's moved it back to the top to reestablish there, so I think it's a better idea to attack up there. Mines got dropped on my tip field in the back, but I guess I really don't care. Again, I'm up 7k float. I'm building a third barracks just to kind of get rid of that, and I have a second war factory, so float's gonna disappear real quick. But this game is pretty much over. Just gotta get one good attack here. Get another prism cannon, and unfortunately that storm rider just dies before I get it, but yep, gonna attack here. Mastermind just being so annoying, instantly decapping stuff. And there goes one barracks. MCV's there. Try to capture it with my mastermind, but he pulls it away, but that's okay. I'll just run down everything. I don't think Upps gets the Tanya out. C4 is a gunwalker and then instantly dies. And yeah, I'm just gonna capture that ref because why not? Just keep pushing in. Upps has nothing left. Last war factory's down. And this game is sealed. Even getting that mastermind to cap that MCV is even brutal. Managed to cap both his rifles before it even kills the mastermind, so that was a longer game. Upps put up a good fight, but the screen is strong, and there's not much you can do about it when they get that death ball going. So that's going to be it for this week, and I'll see you all next time.